Good morning and welcome to the porch. Well, we're running a little bit behind on doing our video for Sunday. It's Tuesday now, but let me go ahead and give you guys my excuse. We had to leave town for a few days to do a craft show, and I got down to the craft show and got ready to do some video work down there, and long and short of it was there wasn't any internet to do the work that I needed to do. So here I am Tuesday morning putting a video together. Now I had a lot of time to think about what we were going to talk about, so it wasn't wasted time, but I just didn't get the video done and edited. So we're going to go ahead and do that today. Now, having said all that, just a kind of a side note here, and it's an important side note. We've had a lot of really bad storms in the southern part of the United States. A lot of people are suffering down there. Need your prayers. If you don't mind, keep those people in your prayers, and just if there's things you can do as far as sending money to financially support them, I'm sure there's several different avenues to do that. Just go online and look into it and you'll find them. But anything you can do to help those folks down there, and I just want to quickly, say thank you to the people that are furnishing their private helicopters and fuel and all those things and going down there and spending their time. They're spending a lot of money to help those folks. Now, I'll tell you, we can look around this old world, talk about all the bad things that are going on, and there's plenty of them. But I'll tell you something. Let's look at some of the good things these people are doing down there to try to help those folks that have been hit by that weather disaster down there. And just as I said, keep them in prayer. And if you are able to go down and help them, I wish I was, but I'm just not. But if you're able to go down and help them and you can, that'd be good too. Okay, well, I'm going to move on into the inspirational video part of this thing. I just wanted to throw that out there. I know many of you are already doing things, so thank you for that. Okay, so here's the thing that I want to talk about today. And there's so many people that start their lives out and they don't think about something that's very important. And more people go at this the wrong way than go at it the right way. But, and I'll get into that, there are a lot of people that actually go at it the right way. They start life out the right way. There's no biblical scripture that talks about a man building a house and talks about a wise man. Now, a wise man, he'll build his house on a rock, but a foolish man will build his house on the sand. And of course, when the winds and the storms come, the house built on the sand crumbles, falls apart. One built on the rock goes ahead and stands up. And this is so very true in life today. I wish that people that are younger could get this and take hold of it and start working with this that we're going to talk about today. Now, I'll tell you straight up front, so I don't have any room to brag here. When I was younger, I didn't build my house on a good foundation, and it caused me lots of trouble throughout the years, but I finally got old enough to understand what that was. So to you young people, I'm just going to tell you, and hopefully just me telling you will help you and save yourself a lot of grief, okay? All right, well, let's just talk about it for a few minutes. I'm going to use an analogy or a story. Just recently, I decided that I needed a tractor shed built onto the side of one of my shops. It's lean-to style, but out toward the edge of the pad, I wanted to build it as wide as I could, and I got toward the edge of the pad, and the dirt was a little softer than I would have liked for it to be, but we worked it as best we could, and it's just what we had. So I thought, well, how am I going to do this to where I can assure that when I put that roof and everything on the walls on, that this thing's going to hold up? And so I thought, well, you're just going to have to pour a footing in there, and you're going to have to make sure you do a good job of that, because that's going to hold all the weight of everything. There's going to be snow going on that thing. And so we really had to consider there's a lot of weight that hits that occasionally, besides its own weight. But anyway, having said that, I started getting it ready. And so I wanted it strong. I came up with a plan. I'm going to build a good foundation. That's the way life is. You got to kind of have a plan for your foundation in life. And I went ahead and I built it a little bit wider than I had to, but I just wanted that width on there to make it a little stronger. Then I got quite a bit of rebar, and I put rebar, drove it down in the ground as far as I could drive it down in the ground, and then I ran rebar the length of this form that I built, and so I thought, well, that's going to hold it pretty good. But just as a extra precaution, I went ahead and put steel wire in it as well. And then when I bought my concrete, instead of just buying regular concrete, I bought the heavy duty stuff with the big thick aggregate in it. So I did my due diligence. I did everything to make this foundation right. I poured it and turned out nice, and I built on top of it. And I think it'll last. Well, I think it'll last a lot longer than I will. But anyway, it's good foundation, good footing, and that's kind of life is. But let's look at life a little bit different. Now you're going to build your whole life on your foundation, and your foundation is the way you think. What am I putting in my foundation? First of all, when you look at pouring a foundation, I looked at the rebar and the sand and the mortar and the aggregate and all that. And with each one of those things, my foundation was made stronger in width. So in life, you start looking at how am I going to build the foundation of my life so it'll hold up when the storms come. And the storms will come. You can count on that. And you take, you want to mortify it. You want mortar in it. And the mortar in life could be your education. How do I think? Am I smart enough to do the things in life that I want to do? If you're not, you need to learn how to do those things, and then you will be smart enough. So we look at that as a mortar. You look at the sand. What kind of people do I hang around? What kind of friends do I have? Do I have friends that'll support me, that will put things into my life that'll help me be a better person? Or have I just got a bunch of friends that want to party and do all kinds of things that are, and it's not wrong to have a good time, but I'm just talking about, I've had friends in my life that they just wanted to party all the time. That's all they wanted to do. It's all they lived for. Well, that's no good. So anyway, you say, what kind of friends do I have? Do I have friends that if I want to do something in life that they're successful in their life and I can kind of ask them some questions, get advice from them? Well, there you are. You're putting a little bit more in that foundation of life. And then you want to put some strength in that life. What's your spiritual life like? How do you think spiritually? It's really important. And that could be the steel in your life. You're putting the steel in there. And you add those things and you build a strong foundation for life. Or you can just come in there, foundation. I've seen foundations just crumble, but people build. They go in there and they do the cheapest work they can. They don't put the rebar in there that they should have put in there. They don't put the steel wire in there. They don't put the aggregate in there. They'll just pour some concrete in there and sand, and it looks good. But a little bit of weight on it over a little bit of time, and that thing will start cracking and fall apart. And then it's really hard to build back. So it's good to build it when you start. And that's the way life is. All I'm saying to you is think about, have I got a weak foundation now? And if I have, how do I build a strong foundation? Well, if you've got a weak foundation, I want to say that's all right, but it really isn't all right. It's better if you had the strong one. But if you have a weak one, well, there's where you're at right now. So you think, well, what kind of friends do I want? Do I need to start changing the circle that I run in, my social circles? And you may need to. Uh, am I educated enough to do the things that I want in life? Well, you say, well, no, I don't have that education. Well, who's it up to get that education? You. And I say this, I'm a self-educated person, but now make no mistake about it. There's very few people in this whole world that has spent as much time on education as I have. I've read, you, it'd take a pretty good truck to haul all the books off that I've read. And not only that, the schools that I've gone through and things like that, that I did after I was grown and married. I started educating myself. But anyway, Who's going to educate you? Well, you're going to have to get somewhere and get that education, but that's up to you. So you say, okay, well, am I spiritually sound or I just don't believe in anything? Well, it's up to you if you don't believe in anything, but it ain't healthy for you because you are a three-part being, whether you know this or not. You are, first of all, you are spirit. If you didn't have spirit in you, you wouldn't even be alive. Your soul or mind, that's the way to look at it. So that's the second part, and then your body. Now, let me touch on this right quick while I just thought of the body part of it. Now, if you don't take care of your body and stay healthy, it's going to hinder everything you do in life. It's kind of hard to do much in life when you get sick and can't get around. So take care of yourself, spirit, soul, and body. And that's how you build your foundation. It's getting those things in order. Once you do that, then you make any decision you want to in life. And if it makes sense and it's something that's in your heart to do, then head for it. But make sure you've got the foundation for it. You say, well, I'm going to fly airplane and you've never had any training. Well, I'm going to tell you that's going to fail on you pretty quick. That's just an illustration. So don't do that. Do things within reason. Build a foundation. If you don't have an education and you don't fly an airplane, you'll be a pilot, whatever. Learn how. Go to school, figure it out, get the training you need, and do that. And life is far more fulfilling when you build a good foundation and you can build on top of that and it begins to take shape. And it's not only beneficial to you, it's beneficial to everybody around you. I've done training in several areas over the years. Done training, helped train people in martial arts. I've helped people train in weapons. I've trained them in how to use computers and how to manage. Just a multitude of things that I've been trained in myself that I've been able to train others in. Well, see how you can do. You can help other people if you know all these things, and then you help them be successful. I remember a guy came to me one time. We were training on how to do a certain job in a factory, and this guy just did not like the change. But once we made the change, a few months later, he talked to me. He said, he said, I was mad at you about making these changes and retraining us. And he said, the strange thing about it is, he said, I work half as hard as I used to and make more money. Well, see, that's the thing. I had a foundation. He didn't. I helped him build his foundation and gave him a better job, better place to work, and better finances for his family. Now, that's what I was supposed to do. That company paid me to do that. So that's fine. But anyway, just keep those things in mind. Ask yourself this. Just ask yourself this simple question. Have I got a good, solid foundation that I'm building my life on? And if you haven't, start working on it. And if you have, we'll just get after it because you need to be helping other people now. All right, guys. We here at the Porch love you, and we wish the best for you. So God bless, and you guys have a good day.